I have the pleasure of introducing you. Well, that's very nice of you. I have the pleasure of introducing two of the guys who wrote the fantastic song Drive that you just heard over the credits. So please help me welcome Slatkin and Ed Sheeran.
We brought a line from next door.
Welcome to New York. And congratulations on a very cool song. Just show of hands, who just saw F1 for the first time? Okay, so wow, great. Wow. No? Oh, that's a nice way to see it. Yeah. I would imagine, Ed, that when it becomes known to you that they want you to do a song for this movie, and also that it's Jerry Bruckheimer who was kind of responsible for some of the movies with the big soundtracks, Beverly Hills Cop, Flashdance, Top Gun, Con Air. I mean, well, movie over and over again. It probably was an easy yes.
No, not necessarily. I feel like movie soundtracks every single year. There's something that I would get asked for. I'm sure Blake is the same, that you get asked for. It's all about the song for a movie. I want to do something that I haven't done before. It doesn't seem like. So when Jerry first approached me, I thought he was going to ask for a romantic song in one of the last scenes, but he was like, "You choose," and he played me the entire movie. And we watched the end credits where June Buggy's going, you guys just watched it, and I was like, that. And he was very supportive of what we wanted to do. But yeah, I wanted to, if I was going to do something for a movie soundtrack, I didn't want it to be something that I'd already done. I wanted to feel like it was different and new and fresh and exciting.
I love that. Blake, for anyone in this room who's not familiar with Blake, this guy's responsible for songs like 360 by Charlie XCX, Unholy by Sam Smith and Ken Petras, like so many of them, and a lot of songs with Ed. I mean, you guys did more than a half dozen songs for the most recent record.
Yeah, I mean, those are the songs that have seen the light of day. I've probably made like 200 songs with this bloke over the last like 4 years.
Yeah. So, Blake, when you think back to working on this track, Drive, did it feel like a separate endeavor from what you guys were doing with the Blade record, or did it feel like of a piece with what you were doing?
Completely separate, and that was the magic of it. I went to see a screening at Jerry's office, and I remember feeling the adrenaline that you feel when you watch this movie. I mean, you guys all just felt it. It's like, you feel like you're part of it. You really feel, it just makes you feel, I don't know, like you're in the cars. And they did such an incredible job capturing that. And when they asked us to do the song, I was so honored because it was so separate than what Ed and I had been doing for the album, in a way that's really refreshing. I think when you make music for an album and an artist like Ed, there's all these kind of preconceived notions, like what you can do and what you can't do. And what people don't realize about Ed is that he's kind of always been the guy that has been like, wait, he can do that. It's like he comes out with the A-Team, and everyone's like, okay, this is like one of the greatest singer-songwriters to come of our time. And then he sings, "You Need Me, I Don't Need You," and he's rapping. And you're like, wait, this guy can rap. And I remember when, I don't think anyone really knew that Ed has this gear to him of being able to sing like this and be able to rock. And I remember when we played the initial demo for Dave Grohl, he was like, he said something like, when's Ed gonna sing it? And we're like, no, that's Ed. And he was like, oh my God, I didn't know that he could rock like that. I didn't know, you don't know that he has it in him. And it was such a cool little side quest that, number one, gave us kind of a break from the pressure of making an album and a break of the pressure of like what it's going to be and what the next move is, and kind of just make music just for the pure fun of it.
I love it. So, and how did you guys carve out time? Was it like, okay, we've just spent the last 4 days working on the proper album, now let's take an afternoon, or did it just when it struck you?
No, we've been in the studio 3 days. We create constantly. I think it's kind of similar to how screenwriting would be, I assume, is if you're not doing it, it doesn't get done. You're not actually sitting down and typing and finishing a scene and then going back and edit it and doing all of that. So we're always making music, and I think we were working on Play. I'd gone in the studio with Blake, with John Mayer, to do a guitar solo on a song we'd done. And I think, we'd just seen the screener, and we said to John, like, do you want to try doing a riff and see where we get to? And he was playing that riff. I was sort of freestyling melodies on that. I got a very, very, very rough initial foundation of the song. I took the song away, I watched the movie again, made lots of notes that me and Blake got on FaceTime because I wasn't living in the States, and we sort of edited the song down and we sent it off and then put notes in. It was a long process than we would usually do for a song, but because it was so specific to the script and the story, it felt like it needed to be like proper, you know.
Blake, did you guys have a deadline that was tight? Did you feel like it was a fast process, or was it more leisurely?
No, it happened pretty quick, and also, you know, we had that original melody sketch, and then I remember when I think we kind of played a rough idea, and we were like, oh, you guys are on a really good track, and I scheduled a day to do the lyrics with Ed, and he was in the UK, I was in LA, and it was like X whatever amount of hours ahead, and we were like, okay, let's do it at 9 a.m., and I woke up at 9, and I called him, and he was like, I did it in the car. And I was like, oh, okay. And then
I did it on the way to a bachelor party.
Yeah.
I was sat with my best mate in a car on the way to. You guys don't know what Butlins is, but Butlins is. How do I describe Butlins? Someone's laughing, they know what Butlins is, but Butlins ain't somewhere where you're going to be writing a song that's in a Hollywood movie. I remember just being in a car with my mate Nick, and I was playing the sort of rambling demo. I wrote the lyrics down. Blake's been polite. We did actually get on the phone, and there was a lot of notes that it wasn't like perfect.
No, there was we did some crafting, but also just imagine Ed in the car with his friend and me on FaceTime, and he's going full like flying through the city like full Ed Sheeran, and I was on the phone like, whoa, oh, I'm sick.
Well, the reason I love the song so much is that, for me, the verses, which are kind of more minor key, have this kind of Lenny Kravitz vibe. I don't know if that's what you're going for.
No, legitimately. So it was a mix between Lenny Kravitz and Led Zeppelin. That was the kind of reference.
And then you have this explosive major chord in the chorus, where it's just such a thrill. I don't know where Hallelujah comes from as a shout out, but
well, it was mostly when we write songs. The first initial thing, it was literally just and the chorus just so we just left in that because it just sounded good. Yeah, it was. But mostly when you're doing songs, the first initial sketch is kind of gibberish, and then you sort of add phonetically. You'll fit words in the phonetic. So if you go instantly, it sounds like flying through the city. The first line, and you're like, okay, flying through the city, and blah blah blah. But yeah, Hallelujah was just gibberish.
wow.
But I like that about songs. There's when you listen to Psycho Killer, Qu'est-ce que c'est, that definitely was that. He was probably just in the studio going, like, we're gonna fill this in at some point, and they just did. Yeah.
I love it. Blake, was that like an early conceptual thing that you guys wanted to do and have the chorus kind of introduce the major chords and feel euphoric like that?
No, but we were also clear on what the movie felt like.
Right.
We were also clear on the scene that it was kind of just make something that feels like this, and like it gave us such a feeling watching the film. I think that's also credit to Jerry and Joe and everyone over at Atlantic of not being like it has to be this and you guys have to make something like this and this. They kind of just trusted us, like pick a scene and make a song.
Do your thing, because the soundtrack is so eclectic. Like it's really like I didn't feel pigeonholed into it has to be some certain type. Where if you listen to the songs that are on the soundtrack, Drive is like a real outlier. Even though it's a film about racing, you would expect there to be a lot of rock songs in there. Drive sort of we were allowed to just do what we felt for that scene. And the film starts off with a whole lot of love, Zeppelin, and that's a very very really riff based song, really high intensity singing. And I speaking to Blake, we were just like, we need to end the film kind of doing the same thing. I'm not saying our tune is close to a whole lot of love, but that was the energy we wanted to capture for it.
Blake, you're saying that Joe Kosinski, the director, and Jerry didn't give you much kind of pigeonholing guidance, but what did they say to you? What besides go do your thing? Did they give you any kind of parameters or guidance at all? Like, 3 minutes or?
We had the odd like there was some odd there was lines about you know, getting his journey as Sonny, like it's not like there's a line in there, his life was never about the money. Then I think there was like a line where they were like, you try to make sure that there's a line in the verse that makes sure that it says that the life was never about the money. You know, there was like little things that they wanted to get in.
Huh. But obviously you wanted the lyrics to resonate to people apart from the movie, right? I mean that's
I think if you're making a song for a movie, you should make it to make sense in the movie. I feel like when I did a song for The Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug, and I remember writing that song and being like, I can't relate to any of this. Like, I know I look like a hobbit, but I'm not. But I was like, Peter Jackson gave me like a really firm script thing where he was like, look, Smaug has burnt the town, and then the film ends and it goes to black. Your voice will be the first thing that is heard, guiding the audience out of that chaos into like calm. And I created this song, and then that's what's in the movie. But I wasn't thinking, where does this song live on radio? How does this song relate to my fans? And I think by doing that, it connects in the film. Therefore, people watch the movie, and therefore people connect with the song, and therefore it does the thing that you would want it to do anyway. So I think with this song, very much we were like, it has to work in the movie. And if it works in the movie, like this movie's been a massive box office success, people watch this film, hopefully they're going to watch this film in 10, 20, 30 years time, they'll always discover this song, if it makes sense. If it feels like it's like out of place, then it's redundant, there's no point making it.
Blake, was the song always Drive? Like, how could it have been called anything else? Like, was that the guiding force, a song called Drive?
Yeah, it was always Drive. It was always Drive. It's a song for F1 movie, and it's called Drive. Don't overthink it. I don't know. It just like felt like the movie.
There was a period of time where it was called Just Drive.
No.
Yeah, push the burn out of the
What's that?
Don't tell.
Don't tell anyone. Well, it's crazy because you also have Dive.
Yeah,
Dive and
yeah.
Drive.
I have been known to write songs.
Would you say you were talking about the Lenny Kravitz and the Led Zeppelin kind of influences. Do you have favorite movie songs from the past that kind of were?
Yeah, I think so. I think some of the greatest songs of all time, certainly songs that have been my biggest influence, have come from movies. I mean, instantly what comes to mind is the Lion King soundtrack, Elton John. I think that was most children's formative years of learning about songs. Don't Want to Miss a Thing, Diane Warren, like that's amazing. Streets of Philadelphia, Bruce Springsteen. Any Bond soundtrack, like, yeah. So I think songs are really, really important in movies. I often think, like music's important in movies. You take visual away from music, it's not as powerful. You take music away from visual, it's not as powerful. You have to have both art forms together. And I've just been watching this Mr. Scorsese documentary on Apple, and so much of those Scorsese movies are incredible because of the soundtrack that he picks for them. When you watch movies like Goodfellas or Casino or Wolf of Wall Street, or like the songs that are connected to those scenes are almost as important as the scenes themselves. I think music's hugely important for the movies.
I love that. Blake, for people in this room who might not know, I mean, we all know who Dave Grohl is, but could you tell us all a little bit more about like Rami Jaffee and Pino Palladino and some of the other people that worked on this track, you guys?
I think another fun thing about doing music for a movie like F1 is it gets you some fun calls, and like you can make calls and people are like, yeah, sure, why not? Like it's everyone is like, I want to be a part of that. And when we were doing it, obviously we went to look for a drummer, and obviously the first person I thought of was, why not get one of the greatest drummers of all time, Dave Grohl. And he was the first person we asked, and it was an immediate yes.
I was actually like mad surprised. Like I love Dave Grohl, but I didn't expect him to ever want to drum on a song of mine. And, yeah.
I mean, he's literally one of the greatest rock and roll drummers of all time.
Yeah,
and
you should hear the outtakes, they're fucking awesome.
Yeah, and Pino Palladino is the greatest bass player one of all time. Plays with John a lot, so that was an easy connection. I worked with Pino a lot. Pino played a lot on Ed's album.
He's also the bassist in The Who.
He's also the bassist in The Who, and for so many artists that we all know and love, and Rami, again, an amazing organ player who plays with Dave a lot. It all kind of just made sense. And again, like I'm just like a kid who used to play in bands, and like I'm like a rock fan. And when you're awarded an opportunity like this, you just like any kid, you're like, maybe I'm gonna get Dave Grohl to play. Like you assembled the dream band, and you have John Mayer on guitar, you have Pino on bass, and it's like you literally like I felt like guys sit around in a bar being like, okay, well, what if you had this guy on bass and you had this guy on guitar? Like, that would be the sickest band. That's like literally what we got to do, and they actually showed up and came. And I'll never forget the day when we recorded the session we did over at Henson Studios. It was like maybe 6 takes of the entire song all the way through, completely live. And
like framing the session sheet and the name with all the names and timings and everything of it.
because we're all like just we feel like kids with this. It's like the coolest opportunity ever for it to happen. And I remember John saying after the session, he was like, that was like, I feel like I just got to watch people who are at the top of their craft do what they do best and come in and have fun with it. And like, this is the product of it. Like, that's just like, this is the product of just like amazing musicians coming in, having fun, and you get to hear it.
Okay, so I'm going to show my ignorance. So what you're telling me is that this was recorded like as a band.
Yeah.
Fully.
Is that rare for your stuff, or is that how you like to do? Because when I think of you, I'm thinking of like, maybe that's more live, but I'm thinking of looping and all this cool stuff that you're doing on your own and overdubs and stuff.
I mean, Blake will say, like, I've rarely recorded a vocal twice. I'm very much, I have a thing called demoitis where you record the vocal once and then I don't want to re-record it, and like it captures something in the moment. I think when you record live like that, music shouldn't be about perfection, and I don't think movies should be about perfection. I think it's about capturing like humanness. And I think live is kind of the way to go. I mean, Blake works within the pop sphere as well. I work within the pop sphere. We work on songs that pop artists sing that will get edited within an inch of their life, and they're good songs, but there's no soul. There's no like, I don't even know how to describe it, like warts. And I feel like all songs and movies should have warts.
Well, with the 2 minutes I have left, now that you've gone through this, and you obviously, as you said, you did it with Peter Jackson, but now that you've done it for this and had this great experience, are you now more likely or less likely to say yes if someone asks you to do a song for their movie?
I think less likely. I think you've always got to make it special. I think, I think The Hobbit is The Hobbit. That's fucking cool. F1 is F1. That's fucking cool. I don't know. I think it would have to be something good. I think I'd want to do a whole movie. I think I'd want to do a whole musical soundtrack and make it a thing. But I think also in that, it's got to be the right story, it's got to be the right studio, it's got to be the right vibe, it's got to be the right director, it's got to be the right editor, it's got to be the right producer. There's so many like aspects to that. I don't want to make something shit. Like, I want to continue making things that are exciting. And I think, as Blake said, I mean, just the collaborators on this song are heroes of ours, and like top tier musicians and artists. But also, if you look at like the talent involved in this film, people behind it, you've got Jerry alone with his history in the movie business, but getting involved in it, we kind of had the easiest job in the world because it was already an amazing movie that we just got to make a song for to fit in at the end. So yeah, I think if you're going to do movies, make sure it's with great people.
Like Barbara Broccoli, the producer of James Bond. She sees this on YouTube. Here's someone
I've met with Barbara before. Yeah, so they just changed directors mid-film, so that's sort of why I left. So we had the conversation.
Again, like, and I can't stress enough, we're just such big fans of this movie. And of anything that Ed's going to do or we're going to do, like, we're not going to do something that we're not completely in love with. And And I think to do it, it's like, you know, there's a bunch of different ways to make movie soundtracks, and you can take a song you've already written and be like, oh, this kind of fits that scene and do that, and that's completely cool too. But it was like a big undertaking and something special to us to see something that we really loved and be like, we want to make the best thing we possibly can to serve this movie, not to serve us, not to serve Ed, not to serve anyone, but to serve this scene and serve this movie perfectly. And you can't do that like every month with different movies.
No, I could tell that you were amped up by this movie, and then you amped up the movie even more.
It's an amazing movie. We went to the premiere. We obviously like seen it, but not like full. I watched it on iPad screen. You know, like I hadn't seen it like properly. And as Blake says, like you spend almost 3 hours kind of like. It's good. It's good. Don't know if you need to watch it every day though.
No.
Like 7 cups of coffee mainly.
Well, I appreciate you guys, and I congratulate you too. I thank you all for being here. If you'll be so kind as to just stay seated for a second, we'll all head out, and then we'll see you at the reception. But
Thanks for
Ed
turning up.
Sheeran,
Thank you guys so much.